Hello guys, welcome to Owotunde TV. Today I'm going to be talking about registration of a child as a British citizen. You know, how to register a child as a British citizen. If a child is under 18 years of age, the process is called registration. But if the child is over 18, then it is called naturalization. So it is important we know the difference between the two. There are two ways in which a child can be registered as a British citizen. The first one is by entitlement, and the second one is by discretion. If a child is not a British citizen by birth, and you want to register that child as a British citizen, when you submit application to the Home Office, the first thing they look at is if the child is entitled to be registered as a British citizen. But if that child is not entitled, then the Home Office has the power to use discretion either to register that child or not. So under the British Nationality Act 1981, there are several provisions that gives British citizenship to a child. There are several provisions, so I'm only going to be talking about 5 of them, and these are the most important ones. So the first one is section 1 of 3. This section is for UK-born children whose parent has become British citizen or whose parents has joined the armed forces. If a child is born in the UK to a non-British citizen, whenever the parent, either the father or the mother, becomes a British citizen, that child is entitled to be registered as a British citizen under section 1 of 3. And when you are making an application under section 1 of 3, if the child is over 13 years of age, then you will need to prove that the child has been in the UK for 2 years, at least 2 years. So the child will need to meet a residence requirement of 2 years. But if that child is under 13, then you don't need to prove any residence requirement. There's no residence requirement in that process. If the child comes to the UK today, if it's under 13, you can register that child the following day as a British citizen, as long as one of the parents is a British citizen. And also, if the child is over 10 years of age, you will also need to prove that that child is of a good character. That is very important. So you need to prove that the child is of a good character. But if the child is under 10 years, then there's no need for that. So that is application under section 1 of 3. The next section is section 1 of 4. This section is also for UK-born children who has lived in the UK from birth to the age of 10. If a child is born in the UK to a non-British citizen and the child does not leave the country, does not leave the UK, if the child lives in the UK from birth to 10 years of age, they are automatically entitled to be registered as a British citizen. You only need to prove that the child has been in the UK for the past 10 years. You can get a letter probably from the school. So that is under section 1 of 4. The next section is section 3 of 2. This section is for children that are born to British citizens outside of the UK. Right? If the parents, either the father or the mother, is a British citizen, and they give birth to the child outside the UK, if they want to register that child as a British citizen, they would need to apply under section 3 of 2, right? Then the fourth one is section 3 of 5. Under this section, this particular section 3 of 5 is also for children that are born to a British citizen outside the UK who have lived in the UK for at least 3 years. So the difference is between the section 3 and 4. The difference is the child must have lived in the UK for 3 years. So even though they were born outside the UK, so you have to bring that child back to the UK and allow them to live for 3 years before you make an application under section 3 of 5, right? So the last section I'm going to be talking about is section 3 of 1. This section is a discretionary application. So which means under this section, there is no law. There's no requirement that need to be met before the child can be registered as a British citizen. The law gives complete discretion to the Home Office or to the Home Secretary to register the child as a British citizen if they think the child is fit to be registered. So if the child is of a good character and if it is in the best interest of that child to be registered as a British citizen, the Home Office has discretion to register. Although the expectation is that one of the parents, either the father or the mother, must be a British citizen, but that is just an expectation. It is not a requirement. Even if none of the parents is a British citizen, the Home Office can still register that child as a British citizen. So what you just need to prove is that the child is, if the child is over 10 years of age, you need to prove that the child is of a good character. And also, the Home Office can refuse, even if the child is qualified to be registered as a British citizen, the Home Office can refuse to register that child if they think it is not in the public interest to register that child, or if they think it's going to have an impact on international relations, and also if they think it will undermine the trust in immigration and nationality service. They can decide not to register the child. So it's like a 50-50 case. The Home Office has discretion to register the child under Section 30 of 1. It's a discretionary application. There's no requirement to be met, but the expectation, like I said earlier, is just that either the father or the mother is a British citizen. But even though if none of them is a British citizen, if you can put a case forward that it is in the best interest of the child to be registered, and that the child is of a good character, they can register the child as a British citizen. But what you need to understand in this application is, if either of the parents, either the father or the mother, was a British citizen as at the time of birth, right, British citizenship will be granted to the child as a British citizenship by descent. Do you understand? If the parents were not British citizens when the child was born, then citizenship would be granted to that child as a British citizenship otherwise than by descent. A lot of people don't know that there are two types of British citizenship. A lot of people don't know that, and it is very important that we do understand the difference. There is a British citizenship by descent, and there is British citizenship otherwise than by descent. I'll repeat. So there is a British citizenship by descent, and there is a British citizenship otherwise than by descent. I'm not going to be talking about the difference in this video. In the next video, I will explain the difference and the impact that can have on a child in future. So today is just about registration of the child as a British citizen, and I've talked about 5 sections under British Nationality Act 1981. The first section is section 1 of 3, 1 of 4, 3 of 2, 3 of 5, and 3 of 1. So if you look under the section, under the comment section, I'm going to put a link under the comment section that will direct you to the guidelines on how to make application to register a child as a British citizen. So, and if you need any, if you want to ask any question, you can put your question under this comment section. I will reply your question. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like our video, and you can share it as well for people that need to know about this video, because I know that a lot of people out there that don't know how to register their children as a British citizen, or they don't have solicitor fee, because I know solicitor, they charge a lot of money nowadays. So if you want to register your children as a British citizen, is very straightforward. Well, not that it's very straightforward, but it's not that complicated. If you listen to this video and you read the documents I'm going to put in the comment section, that should give you guidelines. You don't really need a solicitor to register your child, to help you to register your child as a British citizen. It's something you can do yourself. So I'm sure this video would help you to make an application. And like I said, if you need any advice, please ask your question under the comment section and I will reply to the question. Thank you very much for watching this video. And in the next video, I'm going to be talking about the two different types of British citizenship and the impact they can have on the future generation. Thank you very much and God bless you. Bye bye.